Hey guys, Skinny Pigs 1 here. So today I'm doing cage cleaning. I'm going to clean out the herd. So first thing, I am going to tidy Apple's bum. I used to do that at the very end, but she has started chattering when she knows it's going to be time to get her bum tidied up. And then that makes everybody else in the herd upset because they think she's chattering at them. So it's a whole ordeal. So I do her first to get it out of the way. Same thing when we're just having a regular night and I'm doing some spot cleaning. I have to pick her up first before I even start doing any spot cleaning, or else she goes around chattering up a little storm. Hey baby girl. So the other day on Apple I found that she has a little sebaceous cyst. So it's up by her hip here. So those are the cysts that are common with guinea pigs. They're kind of like an enlarged pore, and they're filled with like a waxy substance. They're not harmful. The only time you would need to get them removed is if they are growing way too large, or if they were in an area where they can scratch and bite at and they could get infected. So Bullseye has a couple of them, Pecan has one, and now I see that Apple has one. Good girl. You have a bit of a dirty bum today. Good girl. Alright, we're done. Good girl. Here we are. That's perfect. Okay. There you go, Miss Magoo. I don't know, is somebody in there? No. Here you go. You did so good. Can I have this? Thank you. So first thing, I'm going to go around and pick up all the beds. Get those out of the way. Hi, sweeties. What are you doing, little troublemakers? So we'll do one pile of stuff I don't have to take outside to shake off. And then all the stuff I do have to take outside to shake off goes in there. Who's purring? Oh, Velvy is. She might be in heat today, because that's not typical Velvy behavior. Yeah, she probably is. Actually, it's gonna give Velvet a little bit of a brush once I get the cage condensed down so that I can grab her. Her bum hair on the end is really long, so I want to make sure I brush that so it doesn't get matted. What are you doing, Huckster? So I'd say Huckle officially is the man of the cage, is kind of the boss of everybody. A very easygoing boss. But he definitely seems to be able to boss Pecan a little bit, so I think she's let him take the title. And what do you think about that, Hucky? Is that the way you want it? Oops. There we go. How are you, sweethearts? Time to get tidied up. So I have some curtains up, which I didn't have before. We had some weather that was about, I don't know, at least -30 with wind chill, so even colder than that. And this room was having a hard time staying warm because it has two pretty large windows, and I'm still waiting for Dad to put a door over there, so that's heavy duty curtains, so it still doesn't hold the heat in perfect. And then with the big windows, they just have like those Venetian blinds on there, so it wasn't holding the heat in great either. So I ended up putting in 2 heaters. So that helped a lot, because then one will come on and then the other one might come on, because just this one that I had here, it couldn't even keep up to keeping the room warm. So I also put the curtains up, and I close those at night, or in the day if it's a super freezing cold day, I'll have them closed too, unfortunately, just to keep some heat in. But luckily the super cold days didn't last too long. So normally, like around here, on an average winter day, could be like, you know, -5 or so. But during the really cold times, it's like -20 to -30. So the curtains, I need my mom to sew them and hem them, because they're way too long. But it didn't really matter at the time. Just needed to keep the room warm. Because the one morning when I came down, when it was super cold, the one heater was just going and going, and the room said it was 65. Now mind you, it wasn't a 65 that was freezing, because there was warm air blowing around, but still way too chilly for my naked pigs. It would be okay for the furry pigs. If I just had furry pigs, it wouldn't really have been a problem, because 65 is very doable. But for the naked guys, it was not okay. So luckily Bullseye has his heat pad, so he wasn't cold, but still, I didn't like it. So we fixed that right away, because that was not a good thing. I guess I'll put this back up so you guys can hide down in this end. And I think I'm going to paint their room come spring. There's a type of paint, I think it's called Natura, where it's supposed to have 0 emissions. So 0 scent happening. So if I choose to paint, it would be spring or early summer, where it'd be nice enough to have those 2 windows open. I could open the doors, get a fan in here to, you know, air it out. And then I don't think I'd have to move the pigs, since there's 0 emissions with that paint. So we'll see, because I definitely would like the color to be different. I don't really like dark colors, so I'd rather have it back to a color very similar to what the old room was. So we'll have that kind of in the works come spring, early summer. See how it goes. I would have painted before I brought the pigs in, but it was kind of a rush to get them back here, because we moved here on a Friday and I brought the pigs home on a Sunday, and I had a couple days where I still had to go to work, and at first I had to stop at mom's to look after the pets, come home from work, and then go back out to mom's again to look after. It just wasn't really realistic to keep driving back and forth. And obviously I hadn't had the pets at my home for a couple months, so I just wanted them back. And I didn't even think about painting at all until after I already had everything all set up and the pigs back home, and I was like, oh, it is pretty dark in here. I don't really like the color. And there's a lot of patches on the wall where they obviously patched over stuff, and it's a darker color, so it's really obvious. So my mom and my one friend said that they would help, and I'm sure my mother-in-law would help, so that we could paint it all really quickly. So yeah, that's one plan for this room. And Dad is going to be building the door for there. He said he'll be working on that really soon. I think he was going to do, he said it was called like a barn door. So it'd be on the other side and there'd be a track where it slides across. So that'll be really nice to have. Because right now I don't really pass through there because it's kind of hard to get the curtains set up so the air's not escaping out there because it's pretty cold in that back hall. But during the nice weather it'd be awesome to have a door to slide and put my dirty fleece out there because I go right out the back steps to shake out the fleece. And then also that's where the fleece storage is, right in that hall, so it'd be nice to sneak back and forth. Okay, I think I'm gonna wash my hands and pick up Velvet to give her fur a little bit of a brush. Okay, so I got my little brush to brush out Velvet's bum hair. I also got a cotton pad wet just to check her bum. It's a good habit if you have females. Well, males obviously you have to check them too, but the females is just a good idea to check to make sure their bum's tidy. Just a quick little wipe will help. Okay, she's not going to be the easiest to catch, but she's in this wood log here. Hi, sweetie. Good girl. It's okay. You're okay. She is a big girl. Hi, baby. Hi, Miss Velvy. Okay. Let's just check your bum first. There we go. Okay. Don't you be going anywhere. Good girl. Look at all this pretty hair. So you want to have a brush for your guinea pigs that have the little rounded ends. Some of the brushes are metal and pretty sharp, like ones that you might use for rabbits who are shedding to grab the hair out, but you wouldn't want to be scratching a guinea pig's skin. So if you have long-haired guinea pigs, you do need to brush them so that they don't get mats. Mats will be very uncomfortable and pull and tug at their skin. So Velvet's my only pig that I have ever felt the need to brush, because all the rest are short-haired, but she has this really long bum hair. So if your guinea pig does have any mats or knots or dirty bits, just trim it off. But hers is looking good. What did you think of that, Velvy? What'd you think? So she has sometimes, she came with a bit of dry feet, so I always check them. Yeah, they're always a bit dry, I don't know why. I've done lots of coconut oil, so we'll put that on again. Good girl. Just gonna hold your foot here for a second. Just holding your foot up so it'll soak in. You're such a good piggy. Yes, you are. Whenever you have your pigs out, feel them all over for lumps and bumps. Check their eyes, check their ears, just to make sure they're looking good. And it's never a bad idea if you can check their front teeth to make sure that they're straight. Check their chins to make sure they don't have drool. Check their nose that it's not running or crusty. Check their little foot pads to make sure they're not red or scabbed. Good girl. You're such a good piggy. You're so pretty. Good girl. You're a good girl. So Velvet's still quite nervous in the cage. Like, she does really well for taking food from you, but if you try to pet her, she does not want to be pet. And if you're reaching, say, to spot clean anywhere close to her, she runs away. I was hoping that she'd be a little more settled being up off the floor and with the other pigs, but she's still taking her time. But out on your lap, she does pretty good. She's a little bit nervous, but not bad. She's not shaking or anything. Good girl. Okay. Might need to do some coconut oil on your feet every night for a little bit. There we go, my pretty girl. There we go. Okay. Alright, I think that was it for health checks for the pigs. I just did their nails just the other week. And when I do their nails, I check everybody over. Just doing the health checks with what I mentioned before. It's a good habit to get into, along with the weighing. Because I forget if I mentioned to you guys, or if you saw it on Facebook or Instagram, but Pecan, I found a lump. It was right near one of her nipples. So Pecan is a spayed female, so the likelihood that it was something bad wasn't as good. Does that make sense? Like, it was unlikely to be a cancer in her breast tissue since she's spayed, but it still was possible. So I had it biopsied to make sure, and it came back just as fatty tissue, so it wasn't anything to worry about. But that was one of the reasons I wanted to mention about doing the health checks, because you want to find stuff as soon as possible so that if there's anything you can do for them, you've got more time. So her spot was still small, so if it needed to be removed, then would have been the time to do it while it was still small and under control. And I personally, if anybody has bumps that I don't know what they are, they go to the vet to get checked out. Because waiting for bumps to get bigger or for other things to happen, you're kind of playing a bad game. Because if they're small, it's obviously going to be the easiest time to get a bad bump removed. Where the more time you wait, the bigger it gets. It could spread to other parts of their body, say if it was cancer. So bumps I always take serious, except for the sebaceous cysts that I've seen so many with my pigs that I know what they are. Okay, sweetie. Good girl. The lighting down here is kind of a yellow tinge, because there's sometimes, depending where they are in their cage, I'll be like, oh, Apple and Velvet look like they need a bath, that their fur's kind of yellowish, and then the next minute they're on a different spot of the cage and I'm like, okay, never mind, they actually look fine. Okie dokie. So we're going with some koalas and then just solid liners. I want to get more of this koala print so that I can have a whole cage of koalas. Because how cute is it? Such a nice, pretty blue and greens. I always can never decide where I want to put their hay, because I'll start in one spot and then I end up moving it over to another spot, and then we just get hay everywhere. Story of piggies, eh? Try your best to keep it tidy. It's like the day after you've cleaned the cage, it looks like you need to clean it again. So I always end up doing like one pile, and then I'll be like, oh, but I think I should have another one. So the other end of the cage gets a pile, and then I just feel like there's hay hay everywhere. So this is going to be a pile here. So I just gotta quickly go around and find where all our beds are at. Okay, well this is a start. Hey cuties. Oh, so itchy, Hucky. Maybe we'll put that there. No, that's too small. Need one bit bigger. I think this one will do. Yes, it will. Hi, Velvy. You don't have to be so nervous. I think that's all I have for koala stuff. Not very much. Oh, I have that tunnel over here. We don't have enough for a full cage set. What a dilemma, eh? Oh, so here's some more koalas for little pads. So cute. That is one huge tunnel. There we go. Oh, I know where I'll put this Hucky. Put it back here. And we got one more bed that maybe I'll put this one here. Put this one nice out in the open. So that one's cute. Okay, what do we think? Is that good, everybody? Get you some hay? Okay, that's a clean one we didn't use from last time. Be Pecan's little cubby in the morning. There we go. Nice and fresh, guys. What do you think, Miss Belvies? Your little bum floof is nice and brushed. There, I'm happy with that. Nice blue and green cage. There's nothing more enjoyable to watch than pigs at a fresh hay pile. So I've ended up sticking with a hay pile. One, because I wanted to make sure Pecan gets lots and lots to eat, since she's on the very restricted diet due to her digestive issues. And two, it's just so nice to see them laying in the hay, eating with ease. I've tried every type of hay holder you could imagine, and I just was never pleased with any of them for too long. So hay piles is what I always end up coming back to. Okay, so I gotta do up waters after I'm finished cleaning the rest of the guys. So I think we'll do Bullseye next, but I think I'm gonna cut my filming here just because I don't have anything else to talk about. So I will see you guys later, and hopefully you enjoyed. Bye bye.